Fox News. Breaking news.
A sitting United States Congresswoman may be on the verge of losing everything. The African nation of Somaliland is publicly calling for Ilhan Omar to be extradited to face justice on their soil. And Vice President JD Vance just announced he's building a case for her denaturalization and deportation. But that's not even the worst of it. While this political firestorm rages around her, Ilhan Omar just admitted on camera that Democrats are deliberately holding the Department of Homeland Security hostage, blocking funding even as terror threats against Americans are spiking. Is this the beginning of the end for one of the most controversial figures in Congress? Now think about what this means for you and your family. See, we have a sitting member of Congress who may have committed immigration fraud to get here. While the Trump administration builds a case against her, she's actively working to defund the very agencies that keep you safe. Omar openly stated, and you'll see it, that Democrats are refusing to pass DHS appropriations. That means TSA agents protecting your flights, Coast Guard protecting our waters, cybersecurity experts defending against foreign hackers, all held hostage for political games. And she admitted this while terror threat levels are elevated. It's not just about Ilhan Omar anymore. It's about whether elected officials who potentially cheated their way into office can then use that power to leave Americans vulnerable. Your tax dollars pay her salary. Your safety depends on agencies she's deliberately starving. And now a foreign nation wants her extradited while our own vice president says she belongs on a deportation list. Oh, the walls are closing in on Ilhan Omar, and the implications for accountability in Washington have never been more urgent. See, political upheaval like this reminds us how quickly the ground can shift beneath our feet, and that uncertainty always ripples through the financial markets. When institutions face challenges or when headlines create chaos, Wall Street doesn't just panic, they profit. They watch regular investors get spooked by the noise and sell at exactly the wrong time. The big banks, they're not dumping their gold during turbulent times like these, they're buying yours. Every headline that makes you nervous is an opportunity for them to scoop up assets at a discount, and that's why I work directly with Noble Gold Investments. They help you build a strategy that can weather political storms and market volatility. And more importantly, they help you stick to it when the headlines get loud. For 5,000 years, through every empire and every crisis, gold has been the constant. Right now, all new qualified accounts receive a free 10th ounce American Gold Eagle. Visit nextnewsgold.com because whether we're talking about political stability or financial security, it pays to be prepared for anything. Now here's where it gets even more outrageous. Omar isn't just blocking security funding, she's also pushing blatant lies about election integrity. She's claiming the Save America Act, which simply requires proof of citizenship to vote, would somehow disenfranchise half the population, half. She actually said that. And think about who she's really trying to protect with that kind of rhetoric. And when confronted about the massive COVID fraud that exploded in her home state of Minnesota, her excuse was jaw-dropping. Let's take a look at what was said. The African nation of Somaliland offering to help and is calling for Ilhan Omar to be extradited. JD Vance says he's building a case for denaturalization and deportation.
Yeah. Well, while Democrats fail to protect innocent Americans, they were busy using yesterday's protest to trash President Trump.
Donald Trump just has not chipped away at our democracy. He has taken a wrecking ball to the very foundation of what makes America great. We have an administration that is openly and brazenly breaking the law and is acting like the Constitution is optional. And while they are doing that, they are shamefully and blatantly lying about every single thing they are doing.
But according to Vice President JD Vance, it's Omar who's doing the lying. Vance said that this week that he thinks Omar definitely committed immigration fraud and is now looking to build a case against her. A spokesperson for Omar called the accusation, quote, ridiculous lie. But the tiny African nation of Somaliland, different than Somalia, is ready to help and is calling for Omar to be extradited to them. I say let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. Extradite her now. While JD Vance lays the groundwork on denaturalization, Ilhan Omar is busy spinning tales about voter suppression with the Save America Act. Libs of TikTok writes, Somali Rep. Ilhan Omar pushing the lie that the SAVE Act would disenfranchise half the population. The only people who are disenfranchised are the people who aren't U.S. citizens.
Are looking at in Washington, D.C. is the SAFE Act, which is a piece of legislation that is in regards to, they say, creating a safe election. And we say it is a bill that disenfranchises half of the population in the United States. It's a bill that requires for people to show a proof of citizenship. We know that majority of married women who have changed their names, who might not have access to their original birth certificates and all the documents that they need in time to be able to vote on any of the primaries that are happening in the next few weeks, few months, or the November election, will be disenfranchised. So Democrats are voting no. And when it passed out of the House, I did vote no in that bill, on that bill as well.
As Omar criticizes the urgency of COVID relief programs, and the spotlight hits her with claims that Democrats are withholding Homeland Security funding.
Can you shed any light on why the fraud got so out of control in Minnesota?
I think what happened is that, you know, when you have these kind of new programs that are designed to help people, you're oftentimes relying on third parties to be able to facilitate. And I just think that a lot of the COVID programs that were set up, they were set up so quickly that a lot of the guardrails did not get created.
Oh, I can't wait to see her deported. I cannot wait. Despite her focus on Homeland Security appropriations, Omar can't escape the allegations that surround her actions and intentions. She openly admits Democrats are holding DHS hostage, even as the terror threat against Americans is spiking.
Democrats said we are not going to pass the appropriations bill for the Department of Homeland Security unless they agreed to 10 reforms, simple things like unmasking ICE agents when they were patrolling our communities. So far, the Republicans and the president have refused to say yes to any of those reforms, which means the department doesn't have the resources to be able to pay for not just ICE and CPP, but they don't have the resources to pay for TSA agents. They don't have the resources to fund the Coast Guard, to fund our cybersecurity employees in a time when we our terror alarm is higher than usual.
Ilhan Omar. So, this is what the establishment media will never tell you. It's really not just about Ilhan Omar anymore. It's about accountability finally coming to Washington, because for years the political class has operated like they're untouchable. They're above the law, immune from consequences. They lie about election security. They block funding for your safety. They make excuses when billions disappear in fraud. They expect you to just accept it. But the Trump administration is not playing that game. JD Vance is building a case before a nation is demanding extradition, and Omar's own words are being used against her. The deep state protected their own for far too long. And those days are finally over. When you openly admit you're holding American security hostage, when you spread lies about citizenship requirements, when you shrug off massive fraud in your own state, the bill eventually comes due. And this is exactly why we do what we do here at the Next News Network. The mainstream media will spin this as an attack on a poor, marginalized Congresswoman. But you know the truth. You saw her own words. She admitted to blocking DHS funding. She lied about the SAVE Act. She made excuses for fraud, and now the consequences are catching up. So share this video with everyone who needs to see what's really happening, and drop a comment and tell me what you think. Should Ilhan Omar be investigated for immigration fraud? Yes or no? I want to hear from you. And since you made it this far in the video, not many people hear this message, but you're lucky enough too. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963. That's how we stay connected when the notifications from YouTube never arrive. When the algorithm stuffs cat videos in your feed when you're expecting to see the next news network. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963. Don't wait, do it right now. Join the hundreds who already have. And make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you do hit that notification bell. Perhaps it'll work. We certainly don't want you to miss a story the establishment wants buried. And if you want to show your patriot pride, check out the Next News merch shelf below this video and stand with us. Stand for truth. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi. Stay free and stay informed.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.